I have a very complicated relationship with my phone. On one hand, I find it incredibly useful, and there are so many practical apps that can help you in your daily life. But then it's just such a big distraction. So many times in my life do I find myself using my phone, even though I don't really want to. There's so many hours I've wasted scrolling through social media apps and just staring at that screen without even intending to do so. It's incredibly time-stealing, but the worst part is that it kind of has destroyed my ability to focus for longer periods of time without thinking about reaching for my phone. And I've tried to circumvent that problem many times over the last couple of years. And I've found tactics and tools to kind of help me with the problem, but I never really overcame it. The phone always found a way back into my life. Some weeks I would limit my screen time very successfully, and I would be very glad about doing so because I saw how it improved my life in so many ways. But then over time, somehow the phone crept back into my life. And again, there were days where I was spending hours upon hours on that device. And I never really understood how that could happen. It never was my intention because I usually am very cautious about using it too much. Just because I know all the downsides that come with it. When I'm using my phone a whole lot, I always have trouble to focus on other things. And the things that are really important in my life, and yet a little bit harder, a little bit uncomfortable, the things that are helping me to improve my life become increasingly less attractive with more phone use, just because it's way easier to scroll. It's way more satisfying on the short term to scroll through apps and through social media. It's so stimulating and fun, and then it's also kind of shallow. I always feel dissatisfied after such a binge scrolling session, right? And I just want more and more of it. It's like eating a lot of sweets. When you're constantly bombarded with all that sweet stimulation, all of the healthy stuff kind of feels dull and unattractive in comparison, right? So all you want is more sweets and more junk food. One more negative aspect I noticed lately was that using my phone a whole lot would make me very impatient. And I'm not sure where this is coming from. But the more I'm using my phone, the more impatient I am in my daily life. I also feel the constant need to grab my phone and to look at what's new on social media. There's this fear of missing out. I constantly fear that if I'm not checking my phone, I'm missing something important. What if someone sent me a message and I didn't see it? What if something important happened and I didn't see it immediately? And as much as I know that it's kind of dumb to think this way, and I consciously know that I don't have to do so, subconsciously I feel this urge every single time. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of that. I've tried different things in the past. I deleted my social media apps entirely. I left social media entirely, but I still have this problem from time to time. My phone always finds way back into my life. And yet I have great difficulty to ditch it entirely, just because there are some things I just simply cannot get rid of. I need my phone to communicate with friends. I also need my phone to navigate through the world with Google Maps, for example. And there are some other practical apps on my phone I don't want to miss out on, right? But then when the phone is there, it's distracting me. It's kind of making me more miserable than I would be without one. So very recently, I've started to practice switching the phone off entirely for entire days. Just putting it into a drawer and trying not to think about it, trying not to access it in any way. And it's such a good experience for many reasons. I feel way lighter. I feel way more present. And it's incredibly liberating. I have way more time for other stuff. And all of a sudden, the things I really want to do in my life, the things that kind of improve it, like working out, going for a walk, doing home chores, these things feel way more fun again in a way, or less distressing. I'm also more present with my family, I'm more present with my friends, and I just feel way happier overall. A couple of days ago, I left the house for the first time in years without my phone. It's kind of crazy to talk about it like that. It felt incredibly weird to do that, just because I felt like, what if something happens? I have to be able to call someone, right? What if someone is trying to reach me? Crazy thing is, I just went for a walk with my family. Just a silly little walk for an hour or two, on which I certainly didn't have to use the phone. But I still felt very insecure. I felt like something was missing. I had to take it with me in a way. Obviously, I didn't need it. And for the first time in years, I really enjoyed a walk without reaching for my phone. And I never would have thought that who I think I'm pretty conscious about what the phone can do to you, how bad it can be, and how much negative impact it can have on your life, that I would have had such a problem leaving the house without it, right? So I'm sometimes wondering if I have an addiction problem here. And I'm certainly someone who is trying to avoid addiction very much. I'm not even drinking coffee on a regular basis just because I know that you can get used to it and then you need more of it. I don't want to depend on any substance outside of myself. But right now I feel like I'm kind of addicted to the phone. So what am I planning to do about this? Well, I've seen the videos on the internet about people just using a dumb phone. And I think that probably is the best solution, but I still am not there yet, just because I have to use WhatsApp. It's just a necessity for me. I cannot get rid of it right now. I also just need my phone for a couple of other reasons. But what I'm planning to do right now is just switch it off for entire days as much as possible. Leave it at home as much as possible. Especially when I know that I don't really need it, right? And practicing this. Maybe you've thoughts on this. Maybe you have a solution for this. Maybe there's a hybrid solution where you don't have to get rid of your phone entirely. Maybe there are maybe you have other ideas of how I could improve my relationship with my phone, in a sense. I would be very interested to read how you deal with it, because I'm sure many people out there have this problem, and most of them probably are not aware how addicted they are to their phone. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on this gray Sunday afternoon. I hope you're doing well, and until next time, bye bye.